President Tinubu receives report from Presidential Committee on Implementation of Livestock Reforms. Ahead of Edo governorship election, INEC distributes sensitive materials to local government areas. An appeal challenging former Chief Justice Walter Onogen's removal. Court of Appeal grants parties' request to settle out of court. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu has received the reports on the progress of livestock reform implementation in Nigeria. The report was presented on Thursday at the State House by the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Livestock Reform, Professor Atahiru Jiga. We'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his administration's commitment to creating a robust financial system and a business-friendly economy that will attract more foreign direct investments. The president made the commitment when he received the leadership of Coca-Cola Company at the State House. President Tinubu commended Coca-Cola for its long-standing partnership with Nigeria and for promoting investment opportunities that have employed over 3,000 people across 9 production facilities. The president told the delegation that private sector partnerships which sustain investments are central to his government's far-reaching reforms to improve the business environment. He pledged that the governments would continue partnering with Coca-Cola to expand investments in Nigeria and address environmental issues, including climate change. Presenting an overview of Coca-Cola's business in Nigeria, the president of the company, John Murphy, noted that the company generates 320 billion naira annually through nearly 300,000 customers and contributes almost 90 billion naira in revenue to the Nigerian government. The leadership of Coca-Cola Company announced plans to accelerate investments in Nigeria to $1 billion over the next 5 years. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu will not attend the 79th United Nations General Assembly session in New York this year. The president has therefore directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to lead Nigeria's delegation to the annual event. In a statement, the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says the president, who returned to the country last Sunday after his trip to China and the United Kingdom, wants to focus on domestic issues and address some of the country's challenges, especially after the recent devastating floods. At UNGA 79, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigeria's national statement to the General Assembly, attend important sideline events and hold bilateral meetings. The high-level general debates with the theme "Leaving No One Behind, Acting Together for the and Future Generations" will run from Tuesday, September 24th through to Saturday, September 28th. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced distribution of sensitive election materials to local government areas ahead of Saturday's governorship election in Edo State. Jude Abugu, who is monitoring the progress, brings us this update.
Sensitive election materials airlifted by Nigerian Air Force from Abuja to Benin City are being sorted and loaded into vehicles for onward movement to various INEC local government offices across the state. This was after the resident electoral commissioner led representatives of various political parties, security agents, and election observers to inspect these materials.
We call them from ward collation result, and for C is the local government collection result.
Representatives of various political parties witnessing this distribution of election materials have expressed their satisfaction with the process so far.
We are quite pleased with the way the whole thing has been organized. It is now in the hands of the police, and I hope the police will up their game and do the right thing and protect these materials to the different local governments.
Nobody expresses any doubt about the outcome of this very important exercise.
They are giving us the checklist, and we are checking the material one after the other to verify that the serial numbers and everything are in order. And so far what we have seen is in order.
Leaders of political parties have been carried along by INEC. What I'm concerned with what we are doing here particularly.
The items already on their way to local government areas in the state include that of Akoko, Edo, Esan East, Esan West, Esan Central, and other local government areas in Edo North and the Edo Central senatorial districts of the state. In Benin, Jude Abugu, Nta News.
In other news, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has granted the request of the federal government and former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, to settle out of court an appeal challenging his removal as the CJN. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe reports. Okay, we'll get that report to you in our subsequent bulletins. Now, security experts say that the over 1,400 unmanned international borders are contributing to the proliferation of illegal arms in Nigeria. While discussing ways to address arms proliferation in the country, they are hopeful that the establishment of a national center for the control of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria will help change the narrative. Ekemini Williams has details.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime recently released statistics indicating that Nigeria has 350 million out of estimated 500 million illicit small arms and light weapons in West Africa. The assent of President Bola Tinubu to the bill establishing the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons is therefore considered a major milestone.
In the Office of the National Security Advisor, but with the presidential assent, it has been given teeth to act in full executive, in full operational, and in full legal capacity.
The focus has been quite intense in the AU and ECOWAS through several either moratorium or agenda for either the addressing this major challenge of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria.
The security experts said that the Center for the Control of Arms should consider integrating local manufacturers of weapons into the government's stated goal of ensuring that 40% of arms in Nigeria are manufactured locally.
Proliferation of small arms and light weapons flourish where there is poor governance and then weak institutions. So all we need is for the government to up its game in providing governance, providing education for the people, eradicating corruption.
Accountability. It is about punishment for bad behavior. It is about collaboration and cooperation. It is about dealing with all what I call the dysfunctionalities: corruption, nepotism, tribalism, religious affiliations, and things that get on the way of meritocracy.
The experts also recommended good governance as the ultimate solution to the problem of arms proliferation. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, Nta News.
The River State government is remodeling the Kana Divisional Police Station in a bid to provide a conducive environment for the Nigeria Police Force to operate in the Ogoni axis. Osinachi Samuel reports that this is part of Governor Similaye Fubara's efforts to strengthen the security agency towards effective performance.
The remodeling of the Bori Divisional Police Station was embarked upon to check accidents resulting from the position of the facility by a major road, and also create a conducive environment for the men and officers to effectively carry out their duties. Governor Siminala Efobara, who was represented by the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Victor Okojembo, said the security of lives and property of Rivers people is critical to the policy of the state government, noting that any support that would boost the morale of the officers and men of the command in discharging their duties professionally will be given adequate attention.
Let me also use this opportunity to appeal to the Nigerian police force. Come the 5th of October 2024, the River State Independent Electoral Commission will conduct elections, local government elections in River State. Try as much as possible to be non-partisans. Continue to exhibit that exemplary and professional leadership that you have always been exhibiting.
Chairman of the council, Marvin Yobana, says his committee decided to embark on the project to appreciate the role of the security agency in protecting lives and property in Kana local government area.
And I want to thank the Commissioner of Police River State for his cooperation. Even we all know that police received order to seal up our councils, but even at that, the cooperation we've gotten from the police here in River State in terms of protecting lives and property, maintaining law and order, is something that needs to be commended.
For the River State Police Command, the remodeling of the police station and the distribution of vehicles to security agencies by the Kana Council chairman will go a long way to boost the morale of officers in the discharge of their duties.
The project and concept were conceived and designed with a view to reposition the face of the police station away from the highway to further protect lives and property of citizens, old and young, and that of our police officers.
The remodeled Bori police station is built to meet the everyday need of the officers while on duty. From Bori, the headquarters of Kana local government area of River State, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
Getting citizens to better understand the vision of governments remains one of the policy thrusts of the Renewed Hope agenda. This resonated at a sensitization organized by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in Government Policies and Programs for Citizens in Ebonyi State. Kanayo Okoro reports.
The sensitization, which is aimed at explaining to the people at the state and local government levels the policy direction of federal government and how government initiative can be assessed, was attended by traders, traditional rulers, students' union government, and women organizations. Speakers at the event harped on the need for Nigerians to be patient as policies, including the removal of fuel subsidy, is for the revamping of the economy.
The president has removed oil subsidy, but he has created other avenues to give us understanding on how to approach our economic situation. But we don't know it. We should help the government to do what they are supposed to do to help ourselves.
For the head Federal Ministry of Information, Ebonyi State, Mrs. Loretta Bakari, and the participants, the sensitization shows the premium the present government attaches to citizenship engagement along its policy implementation, which will in turn provide a suitable feedback mechanism for deepening the gains of democracy.
A critical appraisal of the outcome of this decision shows that at the long run, the average Nigerian citizen stands to benefit from this somewhat painful policy, as the gains are being redirected to critical areas like healthcare, education, infrastructure, and humanitarian efforts.
Wow, I'm enthused. It is thought-provoking. It has really enlightened the people. The way forward. Most of us were ignorant what the government is doing.
I am delighted and I am satisfied with the message.
They, however, appealed for the sustenance of the engagement as well as the monitoring of those that implement these government initiatives for better results. In Abakaliki, Kana Yokoro, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. We're back in a moment after this break. Stay with us.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau. In noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to Nta News24, DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 26, StarTimes channel 101 and 433, and Free TV channel 703.
You're welcome back. The federal government has inaugurated the Inter-Ministerial Committee for the 2024 Independence Day celebration, vested with the responsibility of planning, organizing, and executing all approved activities lined up to commemorate the sacrifices of Nigeria's founding fathers. While inaugurating the Inter-Ministerial Committee, the chairman of the committee and secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, represented by the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, said the 64th Independence Anniversary celebration will be low-key to reflect the trying times the nation is undergoing. The SGF stated that the 64th Independence Anniversary celebration will commence with the World Press Conference on Thursday, 26th September, with the following lineup of activities to mark the national event. Jumat service on Friday, 27th September, church service on Sunday, 29th September, and Monday, 30th September, while the presidential broadcast and 64th Independence Day parade will hold on Tuesday, 1st October. The Renewed Hope Initiative has empowered 1,000 women who are petty traders with 50,000 naira each in Nasarawa State. The program was flagged off by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, represented by wife of the Nasarawa State Governor, Silifat Abdullahi Sule. Bilkisu Gurku reports.
The program is part of the continued commitment of the federal government to drive economic growth through small-scale businesses. Flagging off the disbursement, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, represented by wife of Nasarawa State Governor Silifat Abdullahi Sule, acknowledged the challenges of small and medium enterprises, especially petty traders who form the backbone of local economies. She explained that the 50,000 recapitalization grant will go a long way to enhance economic growth if properly utilized. Beneficiaries appreciate the First Lady and President Tinubu for the assistance.
I'm rearing chicken because the chicken and the food, their food now is so high. This one would at least move me somewhere.
It is going to benefit me in many ways by buying some sewing items which I don't have and other things that will make my business grow faster.
Praising the intervention, wife of Nasarawa State Deputy Governor Sheila Toson Akabe and Commissioner for Women Affairs Aisha Rufai described the event as significant towards empowering women entrepreneurs expand their businesses. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Burku, NTA News.
Stakeholders in Kebbi State are calling for the dredging of the River Niger and the construction of earth dams in various riverine communities as key strategies to minimize flood disasters. This was at the 2024 downscaling of flawed early warning system and recovery strategy meeting held in Kebbi State. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports.
The meeting brought together experts and stakeholders to discuss proactive measures to mitigate the impact of flooding, which has ravaged the state in recent years. 14 out of 21 local government areas in Kebbi State are classified as high and moderate flood-prone zones by relevant meteorological agencies. This alarming prediction prompted the Kebbi State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, and National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to organize a meeting in Birnin Kebbi to discuss strategies for mitigating the impact of flooding. The meeting will also engage stakeholders at various levels, ensuring they understand their rules in managing the impending disaster.
What has happened in Maiduguri has now taught us lessons, which we have to look at internal issues and see what structural measures will be undertaken.
The State Deputy Governor, Senator Umar Abubakar, briefed the committee on the outcome of on-the-spot assessment visit earlier conducted to the flood-prone areas with a view to implement swift action to minimize the forecasted flood.
Our state emergency management agency and local authorities are prepared to facilitate your assessment and provide necessary support.
Communities along waterways in the state have also been directed to move to higher grounds.
The Kebbi State government has already formed a disaster management team across the 21 local government areas in the state. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
Speaker House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has applauded President Bola Tinubu for approving the upgrade of the Federal College of Education Zaria to a Federal University of Education. The Speaker says President Tinubu has once again demonstrated his unwavering love and support for the Nigerian education system by giving express approval for the upgrade of the institution. Abbas notes that with this development, more Nigerians will have access to university education, especially those seeking teaching careers. The Speaker congratulates the people of Kaduna State, especially the Governing Council and the Acting Vice-Chancellor of the newly upgraded university, Suleiman Balarabe, on the achievement. The Registrar Health Records Officers Registration Board of Nigeria, Babagana Mustafa, wants heads of all academic health institutions in Nigeria to implement the newly reviewed Health Information of Management Technicians curriculum in their different health departments and schools across the country. Thomas Ogbetere has more.
The role of medical records and health information technicians is to review records for accuracy and compliance with regulations, as well as compile and maintain patients' medical records. Therefore, for the health record officers to achieve these, according to the registrar, Babagana Mustafa, and others, while unveiling the 3-volume curriculum, the one-day retreat of all heads of health institutions across Nigeria became necessary to enlighten them on their roles in the curriculum implementation and evaluation.
To go around and see that the implementation has taken place in almost all the schools. If we found or discover one thing, that school will definitely be cancelled out of our record in the board.
And not only to escalate it down to people that were unable to attend the seminar, but even to impact the knowledge to the students.
To produce graduates that will grasp the principles and practice of health information.
I'll continue to make sure that they implement it to the latter.
Provost, College of Health Technology, Delta State, Augustina Era, says the full implementation of the newly reviewed Health Information Management curriculum is sacrosanct, not only to her school, but to all health schools and departments.
And this would also improve the performance of the students, both at their exit exams and their professional lives as well.
She added that the implementation will also provide a database of graduates and practitioners in digitizing patients' data and ensuring that records comply with Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Acts. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Shehu Mohammed has directed commanding officers to engage in round-the-clock operations to curtail road accidents across the country. This was at a news conference with stakeholders in the road transportation sector in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
3 major crashes, which claimed 91 lives, have been recorded in the last 1 month. This is total contrast to the Corps' mandate, which is to make the nation's highways safe for users. Consequently, it's engaging these stakeholders to tame the ugly trend.
Sometimes it's not from the garage, it's not from the motor park, but
What we intend to do is to realign our patrolmen along the major corridors, along the accident-prone areas, so that we increase our visibility and performance. I think with that, we should be able to also calm down on those overloading and be able to bring those passengers down and let them, have another vehicle to carry them to their destinations.
The Corps attributed causes of the crashes to fatigue, overloading, dangerous driving, mixed loading, night travels, with both parties reaching a compromise.
Most of our drivers are not doing night journey, but there is something with the accident, even though they have already said accidents do not happen, but they are caused. Really is true. And that is the reason why we obey safety rules and regulations.
Talk to our drivers, talk to our conductors. Even sometimes we get some managers to go with the vehicle to monitor exactly what is happening on the road.
The Corps Marshal informed the assemblage that the strict compliance with traffic regulations will sanitize the roads. Oyeyemi Ajayi, Nta News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.